Hi, and welcome to Black Country Blitz. The gaming. How we doing, folks? Right, today we are here in Plymouth, just about to make our way to Cardiff. Now, I see a lot of videos on YouTube where people have put the ultimate immersion. And I must admit, I've put it as well. But I've got good reasons why to put that on my thumbnail. And the reason behind that is that I believe I've got true immersion with this game and American trucks. Now, besides what we can do graphically with this game, there's a lot of things that we can do and buy items to make this game feel more realistic here in 2026. Now, unless you've got a load of money, then these things don't come overnight, yeah? It took me 10 years to get these items and make this game the best that I can play it, yeah? And American trucks. So, one being was a steering wheel. It ain't a must, but if you can afford a steering wheel with this game, it does make it more realistic, yeah? That's the first thing.
Keep right.
The next thing is some form of head or eye tracking.
Turn right.
Now, I first purchased a Tobii Eye 4C or C4. I think it's C4, but because I couldn't get the one I wanted, which was which was Track IR, as I owned both. Now, at the moment, my wheel setup is still not set up. So, when it is, then I do use Track IR on my other setup, and on here I use Tobii Eye, which we're using now. Now, the difference between these two setups is the Tobii Eye tracking is limited to the size of your monitor, or in some cases, PC screens, and Track IR has got no limitation. No matter what size your screen is, you can use it, yeah? So, I wanted Track IR, as I've got a nice big 50-inch telly what I game with for my steering wheel. So, the Tobii Eye was no good. So again, that brings me a bit more closer to full immersion. So that's a steering wheel and some form of tracking. Now, if you've played this game without any tracking, you can look one way, you can look the other, pull out, and in that short time that you've changed, probably with a mouse to look, you've hit a car. So, you know, if you've got some form of a eye tracking, then, or head tracking,
Time to get the job done.
then this makes this game, as I can now look. Because I move my eyes, I've no mouse or anything, and I've took the pitch off, otherwise it's all over the place. So I've got it, I need to now, if I need to do where, because you can look out the window, yeah, all you do is just move the slider in game, as this Tobii Eye tracking is integrated into Euro trucks and American trucks. So I just move the slider that gives me more feel, left and right to look out the one window if I need it. Yeah. So I want to do fairly quick with my eyes. I could probably slow it down just a tad, but I've left it as it is. I've took rid of the pitch. I only need to. There's nothing up there for me to look at. So if the pitch was up higher, means I look down a lot lower as well. Yeah, there's nothing to see. So, as I level my eyes up, I can see out the windows, and that's that. So, tracking is perfect, yeah? The next thing for me is to feel the truck. Now, there's a couple of ways I can do this. And one is, as I'm doing now, sat on a vibrating cushion. And it is the one from Sim Racing Studio in America. Yep. And this is the U-Shake 6. So, of course, it's got 6 little transducer on it. So I've got 2 under my backside. There's 2 to the side of me left and right. There's a centre sub base, and then there's another one a little bit higher up from the middle, which gives me the 6 transducers. Now there is another one by Next Level, it's Racing, and that's their version of it, and that's got 8 transducers. Now my friend's got that, and he says it's absolutely awesome. So I'm assuming it's pretty much like the one I've got, yeah? And he's got 2 more transducers to feel the immersion. Now I've also got a 4 version of it, which is the old one. So that's just basically a cushion, 4 transducers. And again, I still feel the vibration. So basically what you feel in games that support it. So
Get ready to turn
if you have a few games which are racing, Microsoft Flight Simulator, trucking, there's quite a few games that this cushion supports, and it's all on their website. And basically, I can now feel the engine. So any swaying left and right as you drive. I can feel if I crash. I can feel the changing of the gears. If in this game, as you know, road surfaces change, so if it's a bumpy road, I feel the bumpy road. Again, I've said it quite a lot of times on my streams. Going over level crossings, you feel the first 2 tyres. So the first transducers, which is the left and right of front tyres, you feel a bump. Then on the back, as your other tyres go over, a bump, you feel that. And on the 4 one, it feels a little bit different to what it feels on the 6. The 6 now pumps a transducer in the back of you. Again, adds a little bit more immersion. But, you feel it in either cushion, either the 4 or the 6. So, again, different games, different things. And the 4th item, and it is the ultimate one, but again, is virtual reality. If you own a VR headset, so basically you don't need no eye tracking software, because your VR headset has kicked in. This game in virtual reality is off the charts. Now, bear in mind,
and then turn left.
this game is not natively virtual reality. So, for me, people that watch it are getting nothing out of it, yeah? All I'm seeing is what I'm seeing now. It's the actual user that feels the benefit of virtual reality. So where I'm sat in a normal room looking at a flat 2D monitor, then are, when I put the VR headset on, I am then inside whatever cab I'm driving. So in this case, I'm driving this Volvo. I would be inside this Volvo. Everything gets meant to be look bigger. Yep. The distance between me and the steering wheel, it is a complete game changer. Again, so let's put it all together now. So if I'm going for VR setup, I got the VR and I'm in a full-size cab. I've got my wheel set up. So I've got my steering wheel, my gear stick, my pedals. Now, I own a Fanatec Club Sport, not the new one, the older one, with a belt drive. But pedals, you get the vibration and force feedback in the pedals I own. You also got the force feedback vibrating in your wheelbase. So that's vibrating. You then have the cushion under your backside. That is vibrating. So people, when I do put the ultimate immersion, this is what I'm meaning, yeah? Now again, if I don't go for a VR headset setup, I've got a little bit of vibration in an Xbox controller at the moment, yeah? That's tiny, but it's there. I've also got vibration in the cushion. And then, of course, the head tracking, or in my case, using the Tobii eye tracking. Yeah? So, you know, that is the reason why I put on my thumbs the ultimate immersion. Again, after a couple of hours of playing this, and again, if you play it with somebody else, so occasionally when I have the chance and my friend's available and he ain't busy, as long as we have the same content, as in same mods, same DLCs, we can easily do a convoy. And we do a convoy now. It's a lot better than it was back in the day. You would have to go through Truckers MP. Now, there's nothing wrong with Truckers MP if everybody is doing it properly. The only thing with Truckers MP is people that come on there and spoil it for others. Now, I know there's a load. I used to play Truckers MP by myself, but I do like to see traffic on the road. So for me, having no other vehicles, just driving on empty roads, because if you're playing Truckers MP, there's nobody on a road, then you're seeing no vehicles. That's it. Other people, if you're seeing vehicles on the road in Truckers MP, that's other people. So whether they're driving a truck, a car, that's other people. Now, I've played with other people on there. I've joined convoys. I've really had a good time on Truckers MP, but I've also had some bad experiences where people have purposely spoiled a stream. Me and my friend one day had chose to drive all the way from Russia back to the UK. Now gets to the Euro tunnel, and somebody decides, oh, let's crash into him. I don't know that at the time,
And then continue straight on.
but somebody crashed into me and ruined a 3-hour stream. Yeah. So, you know, and you can imagine me,
Straight on.
and I ain't gonna lie, my language was terrible. It's a wonder I didn't get banned that day. And I thought, you know what, if people are gonna do that and spoil other people's enjoyment, then they can stick Truckers MP where the sun don't shine, yeah? And I've never been back on since. But now, SCS Software have brought in their own convoy in-game. And like I says, as long as the players, because I think you can play with up to 8 people, as long as the 8 people have the same kind of setups, so the same plugins, same DLCs, you can play it amongst yourselves. Now, I've got a few friends that play this game. Again, it's getting everybody together and making sure they've all got the same as yourself. Now, if you follow my channel, you know I'll keep swapping my plugins, and I do it regularly because I see different things. It's like today, I've got this now coloured strip around the dashboard. Now, when it's dark, that lights up the cab. Yeah, I've seen it. It's even English. The person who uploaded this to a mod site, I think is Chinese. It's actually in Chinese when you pick it. Yeah, so, you know, but it looked good. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to have a bit of that. And that's what I did. So, you know, now I one of these will put up the best 20 mods out there because they change so quickly. If SCS software decide to do an update, then most of the time the mods are broken unless the people that have made the mod in the first place update them. Now, some people do on a regular basis because they're mods that people are using all the while. So graphic mods, traffic mods are normally updated by the people that make them, and I really do appreciate the people that do make these mods because they do actually add to the game. That helps as well, but it's knowing what mods to use, which ones are good, which ones are bad, because of course the more things you actually add in your mods folder, you're adding to the game. So it's more things that have to load up. And if you're on a good PC, that ain't a problem. But if you're not on a, you know, decent PC, then you might struggle, yeah, for things that are loading. Now, this present time of making this video, I've got a nice selection of mods. A couple of them, which I'm really impressed with, is the 3 mods that take out the coaches, the trucks, and the cars, which are vanilla. So basically, what are in the game from the start, and whichever ones you add, car packs, truck packs, coaches, they only spawn those. So what you're seeing now, all these vehicles on the road are spawned via this little mod. So you have to have all 3, one for cars, one for coaches, and one for trucks. So them 3 mods take out SCS's own vehicles and stop them from being respawned in the different countries that we drive. And then you only get spawned what you've put in. So if you play this game enough, there's a guy called Jazzy Cat, and he does the car packs, the trucks, cars, buses, military vehicles, motorbikes. This person has been modding this game with cars for a very long time. So all the vehicles that you're seeing now on this screen are spawned from Jazzy Cats, which I have added. Another feature is your weather. So a good weather mod, so you get the beautiful skies, they're called skyboxes. They will change as the game changes, and this weather with a good weather mod is fantastic. Over the years, I really like weather mods. I love to have a good rainy scene with a good thunder and lightning. Again, the more realistic the thunder sounds, and the lightning. Again, when you're in virtual reality and you're driving in a thunderstorm, my God, that is absolutely off the charts. I tell you what, people, if you're watching this video and you get the chance to play this game in virtual reality, please do. Again, you might have to have I won't say a fan, really high spec PC, but one that's compatible to support virtual reality. You might have to turn a few things down if you are on a PC with higher specs, but you will get the feeling even on a low spec. Now, this is not an high spec PC. It was back in the day. I mean, this is what we're playing this on now is a 1080 Ti. Again, here in 2026, it ain't a bad graphics card. I mean, they've got 11 gig of RAM. I've got 64 gig of RAM in the PC. I couldn't tell you the spec of my processor, but I know it's an Intel one on this one. But every game I'll play at it plays roughly. There's a few games that have stopped working on here now. But again, it don't worry me. I've got another PC over the other side of the room. Once it's all set up, that's got a 2080 in. Again, that's old, but it's better than the one I've got in now. But that's a AMD processor in that one. But that's got 128 gig of RAM. Not that I need 128, but with the other things that I've run besides, so vibrating cushions, this and that, it does take up the RAM when I'm playing. So, it's absolutely awesome when you can get it all working good. Again, if the game changes, then of course you've got to start looking for plugins and stuff like that. But this game gives me hours and hours of fun. You can just sit here and just drive. Now, of course, SCS software, even though it's 2012, this game is being updated pretty much all the time. We've got new maps coming, we've got coaches coming, reworks of countries. Now, I'm really looking forward to having the UK, as that's coming soon. I can't wait to drive the UK once it's been reworked. It's one of the first maps when the game got released in 2012. Now, again, if you own the American trucks as well, that's a little bit newer. I think it's 2016. Again, same as Euro trucks, it's been reworked. It's having new DLCs released. So, once you've initially bought the game and all the DLCs, so, I think you could buy both games, all the DLCs for, I think it's under 60 quid now. Yeah, you probably think 60 quid. But if you've got a son or a daughter, or yourself, you like driving, once you've bought the initial game and the DLCs, you've got hours and hours and hours of fun.
Turn left.
I mean, if you go from one end of the map to another end of the map, it could take you a couple of hours. You know what I mean? Again, you ain't got to sit there driving for a couple of hours, but if you choose to, I mean, as I said, back in the day, I used to put that many countries where you can map the whole Euro. You can do it in America, but not so much. But in Euro trucks, the map combo used to be massive. So, now there was a guy that used to do them, And he went off the scene, and I stopped doing it because I hadn't got an idea. Well, I got a rough idea, but there's a way to add it all together, so it's like a stack. When you do modding, you have to put it in a specific order for it to work. Now, everybody and his dog always says, put mine higher up in the stack. Yeah? But you can't put them all higher up. So, you have to have some higher than others. But that's the part that you have to get right. Now, once you get that right, it's fine. If you don't get it right, it'll crash. And again, it's not supposed to happen. So you ain't supposed to modify your game. But SCS software are good enough to let people change their original game. But they won't help you. So if I've got a load of mods in and it stopped working, then that's my own fault, yeah? Because I've messed with their original game. They're not going to support you and say, look, it's this which is causing the problem. It's your own fault. So you basically end up taking everything out and sitting there patiently adding one item back at the time to find out which mod has caused that problem. And when you found it, you just delete it. Sometimes it'll say this mod is not compatible with certain build or new release of both games, yeah? So basically, there's no brain work. All you do is just delete it, or you try and find a new replacement that is compatible so you can then play the game as you was before. Now, as of now, we've got 161 to soon be released. Now, hopefully, things will break and I will be able to use some of the plugins. But if they don't, then I'm on the lookout on my regular sites or any sites that I can find to do with Euro trucks and American trucks to get some new plugins, yeah? And that's the way I am with this game. It's always updating, always looking for new stuff. Now there's one thing that I really, really, really wished we could get back. Now, SS software are all doing maps and whatever else, which is good. But certain things that you wish for, it takes them a little bit of time. And I say a little bit of time. I moaned for some years about getting sliders in the game to change the inner settings. You used to have to guess, and all it needed was some number sliders. Say if you change one setting, so imagine it was on a 5, you changed it to a 6. 6 were no good. Back in the day, there was no way to put it back to where it was. Yeah, you can now. Eventually, they changed the whole interface, which I'm still messing with now. But they changed the whole interface and give us sliders, and it's like, wow, brilliant, absolutely fantastic for somebody that's always trying to tweak the inner settings. I can do it now. And how I do mine is I take a still image, because again, as you get older, your brain, ain't as good as it used to be. So I take a still image, so I know what the settings was previously. I then change it. If it works, then I leave them as they am. If not, I can always refer to the picture and then change them back. Thank you to SS Software, at last you did that. But the thing I would love them to put in this game is some kind of hands on the steering wheel. Now, we had this in a mod, but as I was reading, after a new release, it's not possible for a modder to put hands on a steering wheel. Now, it's just bare. If I was to come out the cab view, say I'm looking at my cab, you will see me as a driver, and I've got my hands on the steering wheel. Yeah. Now, if they can do it in racing games, yeah. Now, racing games, some of them give you the option to drive with hands or to drive with no hands. I like to see a set of hands because it shows that is me turning my wheel, or that is me moving my joystick on my controller to make that steering wheel move. Again, it adds a little bit more realism to the game.
Get ready to turn left.
So, I would like to know, SS Software,
Turn left.
why we haven't got hands, or if there's any chance, if you're doing an upgrade to give driving hands in your trucks, yeah? Rather than just looking at a big round wheel that just turns with no hands, yeah? Again, it could be because the engine they use is so old. It could be, you know. Things like that probably causing problems that they can't do it. But, you know, it would be nice if they would say, like, yeah, this is the reason why. I might even try and email them and see if I can get a response back.
Keep left.
You never know.
Straight on.
But actually, that would add a little bit more. People who like in 2D, I would love to sit here now with my hands on, my sleeves rolled up, you know, my tattoo on my hand, because that's what the others had. You know, that option to customise your hand. I mean, it would be nice as well. I mean, I've only seen it in one game, but it was driving. There was a army game, I can't remember now because I'm going back, probably 15 years ago. But that was then. You could take an image of your face from the side, from the front, and then model it to a character within the game. So basically, you was playing as yourself. So your face would be on a model of a soldier, and you could play the game like that. Yeah? Now imagine if you could do that, so when you come out of the cab view, that driver is your face. I would love to see my own face on the cab. Yeah? Again, as I said, once you've played this a couple of hours, especially when you play it in virtual reality, you forget that you're playing a PC game, believe me. The realism just, it's like 100% for me when I'm in virtual reality. Yeah. You take the headset off and think, well, I've actually been playing that and it ain't real. That's how good it is. But it's just the silly little things. I mean, now we've got good interface. There's things that will help people if you should need them. When you've been playing this game long enough, you don't need to have them on your screen. I hate having my screen all cluttered up with dials and this and that. Yep. It takes away the gameplay. It makes it more... it makes it unreal for me, having this pop up the screen and that pop up the screen. I mean, it's like the dashboard now, when it's got that dashboard thing. The only reason I put one of them on is because if I have to keep moving my eyes down to look at the one in the dashboard, it sort of takes away from the game. Now, I'd normally do, when I've done that, there's one in the thingy, I often do that, turn it off. I don't need to look at it. I've got the one on the window screen, yeah? That's good enough for me. So, you know, when I see people put the ultimate, or, you know, realism, really, they wouldn't know the word of ultimate realism because they don't own the things I do, and a few of my friends own, and a few of my other friends don't even stream their content. Yeah, they just play the game for themselves. I think there's only me that streams the content. Another thing is when people only watch about 4 seconds of your content, you know, please people, you know, give us a like, give us a follow. 4 minutes of content that you watch, it takes the piss. There's no other word for it, yeah? You know? Take time out of my day just to try and entertain you. Now, I know sometimes I come on here and I don't talk. I like you to experience what it's like when you just drive. Now, I've got a mod on at the moment that quietens the inner cab volume louder when you get outside than it is inside, yeah? And I do like that at the moment, yeah?
Exit right.
Because when you hear the sounds, they're enhanced a little bit more because you've turned them down, so your ears seem to hear little things what you wouldn't normally get to hear, yeah? If that makes sense. Right, so we are very close to dropping this trailer off. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. And it just gives you a little insight to why I put the ultimate immersion. And like I said, look at him here, overtaking. Now you've got a problem, are you, pal? See? He's caused a crash now. Now is he gonna move? Or am I gonna sit here waiting? It's time is money. Money's time. See ya. Not when I'm just round the corner anyway.
Get ready to turn left.
Oh God, if Swansea. Yeah. See, car that's made a big, massive convoy of vehicles now just because one car's crashed. Just got to go around this corner. And then my ultimate immersion game will be over. I wonder what this will look like once it's all been updated. Well, I'm doing a few videos here in the UK to compare them to what the update will look like when it's eventually released. There's one thing I can say. They always do good maps. Their maps are spot on now. Don't get me wrong. The other one that do maps, I can't think of the name of them. Again, I used them for a bit. But they also do good maps. But again, the only trouble is certain jobs you cannot deliver to them. Yeah. Because they're not part of the original game, hence why I stopped using them. So because I do World of Truck jobs, any World of Truck jobs will not register on what's it called now? It'll come to me. Pro mods, that's it. So if I take a job in Pro mods for the World of Trucks game, I've got to the destination and it won't work. So I'll stop using them. Just play now the mods that I'm actually
Get ready to turn left.
in the game and the ones I've bought as add-ons. Right then, we're here in Cardiff, as you can see. Oh. So that's emergency ambulance. About to change. Here we go.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Tell you I've been up here. Still greyed off area. Although there's quite a lot of other places I ain't been to yet. That's what I mean. Now I play this almost every day. Sometimes 2 or 3 times in a day. So, you know. Avoid A10. I'm gonna 10 now, but it better 10. Was going to be here quite a bit longer. Gonna 10. Oh, they banged into him now.
Turn right.
So it's telling me something I wrote with a mod. Yeah, that's twice we've had that problems.
Turn right.
I could be out of date.
It was a nice ride.
I might have to have a look, but again, I think I've got 160. Oh, even though it's 160, they have little updates in between. Now, that might be the case where I'm having issues. It just breaks your mods without sort of knowing. Right, gonna get a green light. Just about. And there we have it, folks. 1 delivered trailer. I'm late, yeah. So, hey, it's all good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, as always. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I do appreciate it. And so does the channel. Till next time, take care. Ta-ra a bit.